tyranny of the success myth. The success myth, we live under the tyranny of the success myth. Social media, corporate culture, and even the self-help industry have sold us a dangerous lie that a meaningful life is a linear climb toward a peak. We're told that if we just optimize enough, we can avoid pain, bypass failure, and live in a constant state of winning. But this myth is the greatest source of our global anxiety. When we inevitably hit a wall, when the business fails, the relationship ends, or the health fades, we don't just feel sad, we feel ashamed. We feel like we've broken the contract with life. But what if failure isn't a bug in the system? What if it's a feature? What if your setbacks aren't interruptions to your journey, but the very material your journey is made of? In this video, we're going to deconstruct the anatomy of disappointment. We are moving away from the superficial bounce-back advice to a much deeper truth that the most indestructible versions of ourselves are forged in the heat of what we call failure. Drawing from the darkest moments of human history and the brightest insights of existential psychology, we will discover why your current setback might be the most strategic thing that has ever happened to you. It's time to stop fearing the fall and start mastering the art of the descent. Chapter 1. The Alchemy of Agony. In chemistry, alchemy was the ancient attempt to turn lead into gold. In psychology, we have a similar process, existential alchemy. This is the ability to take the lead of our suffering, the heavy, dark, and seemingly useless moments, and transform it into the gold of character. Viktor Frankl observed that human beings are the only creatures capable of this transformation. A machine breaks when it's overloaded. A human being can actually become stronger under the same pressure. This doesn't happen automatically. To turn agony into alchemy, you have to change your relationship with the void. When things fall apart, your immediate instinct is to try to fix it or distract yourself from it. But the void is where the truth lives. It is in the moments of total disappointment that our false identities are stripped away. We realize that we are not our bank accounts, our titles, or our reputation. We find what is left when everything else is gone. That remainder, that core of your being, is your true foundation. Your failure is actually a strategic stripping. It clears the ground of your life so you can finally build something that isn't made of ego, but of substance. Chapter 2. The Tragedy of Success. There is something more dangerous than failure: premature success. When everything goes according to plan, we become arrogant and blind. We stop asking deep questions. We begin to believe that our external achievements are a reflection of our internal worth. This is a fragile way to live. This is why many people who seem to have it all are actually terrified of losing a single piece of their puzzle. Their piece is a hostage to their performance. Failure, on the other hand, is a reality check. It is life's way of keeping you honest. It forces you to reevaluate your order of value. If a financial loss destroys your sense of self, it's a signal that your internal gravity was misplaced. Disappointment is a diagnostic tool. It shows you exactly where you were leaning on a shifting sand foundation. By failing, you are granted the rare opportunity to recalibrate your compass before you wander too far in the wrong direction. In the global race for more, failure is the only thing that has the power to make us seek better. It is the tragedy that saves us from a mediocre, superficial life. Chapter 3. The Defiant Nevertheless. The ultimate test of a human being isn't how they act when the sun is shining, but how they respond to the nevertheless. This is what we call the defiant power of the spirit. It is the moment you look at a crushing defeat and say, "I have lost everything. Nevertheless, I will choose my response." This nevertheless is the highest expression of human sovereignty. This isn't about ignoring the pain, it's about acknowledging the pain and choosing a meaning in spite of it. This is the difference between being robust and being anti-fragile. Something robust can withstand a shock, but something anti-fragile actually gets better because of the shock. Your failures are the stressors that activate your deepest potential. Think of a forest fire. It looks like total destruction, but certain seeds can only germinate in the heat of a fire. There are parts of your character, your empathy, your depth, your resilience that simply cannot grow in the air conditioning of a comfortable life. They need the fire of disappointment. When you embrace the nevertheless, you stop being a victim of your past and start being the architect of a future that is built on the ruins of your old self. You don't recover from failure, you emerge from it. Chapter 4: The Archive of Resilience. One of the biggest lies failure tells us is that our time has been wasted. We look at a failed project or a lost year and think, I can never get that back. But if we return to the concept of the storehouse of being, we realize that nothing is wasted. The courage you showed while trying, the dignity you maintained while losing, and the lessons you learned in the process are permanent gains. These experiences are moved into your archive of resilience. In the future, when you face a new challenge, you won't just have theory or positive quotes to rely on. You will have data. You will look back and say, I survived that, so I can survive this. This is the only way to build true, unshakable confidence. Most confidence is just a thin layer of ego based on recent wins, but true confidence is a deep-rooted knowledge of your own durability, and that knowledge can only be earned through the experience of being broken and putting yourself back together. Your setbacks are not dead time. They are the most valuable investments in your archive of resilience. They are the credentials that prove you are ready for a larger assignment. Chapter 5: The Gift of Empathy. Finally, failure is the global bridge to empathy. A person who has only known success is a person who is fundamentally disconnected from the majority of human experience. They cannot truly hear the pain of others because they have no echo chamber for it in their own souls. But when you have walked through the valley of disappointment, you gain a new universal language. Your failure is a secret key. It gives you access to the hearts of others. You move from being a competitor to being a comrade. This is the principle of self-transcendence in action. When you use your own scars to help someone else navigate their own darkness, your failure is instantly transformed into a sacred task. The world doesn't need more perfect people. It is dying for healed people who can show others the way out of the pit. By sharing your journey, not as a polished success story, but as a raw process of falling and rising, you provide the global community with something more valuable than any how-to guide. You provide hope. Your life becomes a living proof that meaning is not found in the absence of failure, but in the mastery of it. This is the ultimate gift of disappointment. It makes you a lighthouse for a world that is lost at sea.